How's it going, guys? So today on this SHOKY review, we're going to take a look at another Star Wars Black Series figure. And this one is, of course, Darth Vader. And this is the Walgreens edition. That is the Emperor's Wrath version. And so you've got Darth Vader here, looking all Darth Vader-y. And the package is a little bit worse for wear. This thing has been around for a while. And, Walgreens put them on sale, so I finally had a reason to go ahead and buy this figure. So it looks pretty cool. Of course, it is a special edition. You can see right through there. His helmet looks a little bit wonky. And you've got the nice rendition of him being electrocuted right there. And his hand all, like, being gone and stuff. So, Darth Vader, Emperor's Wrath, aged out to 4+. Yay! 4+. I'm right in the middle of that. And then you got Hasbro right yonder. And, of course, come back here, and it says Darth Vader, Emperor's Wrath. Really hard to see. But then you got the no number because Star Wars exclusive. Now, you've got unable to watch his son Luke Skywalker die at the hands of the Emperor. Darth Vader received a lethal blast of Force lightning as he hurled his master to his doom. I like how it doesn't know where to focus. It's like, what? And you got lightning version here. You got all this stuff. Force Awakens, Hasbro Shop, Disney, Hasbro. Alright, so let's get the Dark Lord of the Sith out of here and see how cool he is with his being electrocuted self. Yeah. Alright guys, so here is Vader out here looking very imposing with his purple helmet. I'm not going to talk about what it looks like. We're just going to let your imagination do its thing. So he does look pretty cool. I like the soft goods on the cape, although these rather large, hefty bits sewn in here are incredibly obvious. But I guess you got to do what you got to do when you're working with a figure on this scale. Of course, on the back, you ain't seeing a whole lot of anything but cape. You open up the cape. Ah, okay. He is very Vader-like on the inside. You've got very hefty, the heavy-duty body suit he's got going on in every direction. I kind of wish that this wasn't soft goods. I wish that this was just the exposed plastic underneath, because it is molded in. I feel like this wasn't necessary. I like the deflection of the light. So you got the silver up here, which is a bit more reminiscent of the later versions instead of just being straight black. You do have his little chest panel that is painted up slightly sloppily, but it is what it is. You got his morpher right there, all molded in silver. You've got his other bits over here with the silver, the green, and the silver. The belt does move. It is all attached to the soft goods here, the skirt, as it were. So you got the cape, you got the skirt, and you got the crotch piece right here that's all made of soft plastic, so it can all move around. But of course, the main part is this chain. Look at that chain. Got the bling bling on the Vader there. And you gotta make him tilt just a little bit. I'm gonna raise the camera up because he has a lot bigger of a figure than I anticipated, so I'm gonna need to tilt the camera up slightly. And you do get this new head, which, they made a see-through helmet to really replicate that when he's getting electrocuted, and you can see the skull inside the helmet, or even, it's very much like just his base Vader head, and you've got the lightning going across it. I kind of wish you had the ability to take it apart. I think that would look cool, but basically you're supposed to just look like he's getting Force lightninged to death, because that's essentially what happened. He does have one accessory. He got his lightsaber, as usual. Nice red blade. Could be better. Painted fairly decently. Looks good and does fit. Well, I say that. As I say, it fits. It doesn't fit in his hand. Come on. Now, I really wish they'd given you a non-ignited version. As I say that, I'm dumb. This is literally the first time I discovered that. There's no instructions. There's nothing that says, by the way, the beam blade comes out. And actually, now thinking about it, this is my first Star Wars figure that has a real accessory at all, because the previous ones didn't. But he does come with a non-ignited lightsaber, as I considered, and the beam blade does come out, so that looks pretty good. Just real quick before we go too much further, just a thought. Let's put him up against the other Walgreens Special Edition. Angry Force Ghost. Angry Force Ghost. LP1. So pissed that he killed him. Ha ha ha. That's what you get, sir. I loved you, Anakin. Anyways. And we also can see him next to 3PO, which is remarkably shorter than him. Like, you don't really get the scale of Vader, but I've always thought that 3PO was right on scale with most people, but Vader is huge. So, I mean, next to his own invention that he clearly doesn't remember ever making, or vice versa. But, of course, we get that one throwaway line. Wipe the memories. Okay. And then you got K2SO, which is so far the only thing taller than Vader, so is what it is. Hey, they were in the same movie together. Alright, so pull the lightsaber out of his hand. I wish he had the little holster or the little clippy for the lightsaber so it can go on his belt when he ain't using it. But I guess this version he's going to be displayed in a certain way because he's being, force lightning to death. Now the head does rotate. It's a little awkward because it's literally the entire thing. It goes up and down so you can look down at people as it usually does. You have that. The cape flows in the back like so. You see all that stuff going on. The shoulders are on a disc hinge, but you can't do much. Like, that's about as good as you can do with the shoulders. It's very, very tight disc hinge elbow. And goes only to there from what I can tell. I don't believe that the wrist... it does rotate at the elbow. That's good. Okay, so you can spin at the elbow. I knew you could turn at the hand. I was thinking it was going to be here at the cuff. You got a little disc for the hands. You got just a decently little expressive hand here. You don't know the power of the dark side. Hold on. You don't know the power of the dark side. Wow, that's gonna be a thumbnail when I get there. So that's that. You do get waist rotation, no ab crunch, but maybe. Oh, I'm sorry, you do get an ab crunch. You got a ball joint mount back in here or something. The soft goods covering everything really hides a lot of what's going on. But yeah, I didn't realize you could totally do that. No. Okay, so the legs, very, very limited by what's going on here. That's as far as it can go splits wise. You do get a thigh rotation, which if you line it up properly, you can literally just lose it in the sculpt, and that's okay. Double jointed knees, which I'm happy about. So you can have a little skipping Vader. Yay! Thigh. Leg can kick forward that far, but you really, really lose that crotch piece. Doesn't really go back anywhere because that Vader booty is all up in that way. Look at that. Come down to the shins that are actually very nicely molded. I like that. And then down to the ankles, you've got a little disc hinge like so, and you've got a little swivel kind of built in there, possibly a ball joint for a little bit of a wider stance, maybe not, depending on how Vadery we're going with this. You don't know the power of the dark side. Either way. Now, oh, I totally forgot to introduce him to Wally. Wally! There's your Vader. Just realized the lightsaber is still on the screen. Now, because this is, of course, that iconic moment, I was thinking, because it even shows it in the artwork on the box, that he needs his hand cut off to really, like, make that moment. Because when he's throwing the Emperor over, he's only got his left hand. He had the other one cut off by Luke. And I was like, why would they bother... Why would they bother giving you a Vader who's supposed to have a hand cut off? So what I was actually planning on doing, guys, is making a custom version. I was going to go ahead and cut all of that off, add a little bit of wiring and stuff like that, a little bit of burned edges, so you can totally see that, when his arm is cut off. And then I took it out of the packaging. And just by chance, I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on down here? Schwa! The hand comes off. It's literally just in a peg, and you get the exposed rainbow of death. Maybe that's more Terminator than I intended. But you do sort of get that. Now, this would be a very good starting point. I might actually go ahead and go through with my plan to do that, because honestly, that looks a little stupid to me. Like, they have molded in wires, but that paint is so meh. I don't care about it. So, I mean, if you guys want to see me maybe modify that just a little bit more to really, really make it stand out that what really happened there. It looks like his hand fell off. Like, it's cool that they gave you that little slip. So, it is a surprise. I really honestly didn't know it could do that until I realized, wait a minute, why do the hands look so different from each other? But I think that would be pretty neat to actually go through with that. But guys, that's going to be it for the Darth Vader review. I like it. I really think I need to get a normal Vader. I found one at Target. I might go back and get him, even though it's not on sale at Target. So I want to get a normal Vader, put next to the getting shocked Vader, more or less. And I really do prefer the helmeted characters or the robotic characters, because I feel like some of the older figures, and this one's been around quite some time, I think since 2016, maybe, that the helmet, the face sculpts are not there for a lot of figures. The newer ones, they're really getting a lot closer. Hasbro's getting much better with some of that. But in this case, I like the helmeted ones. I really kind of want to get some stormtroopers, different versions of stormtroopers. I've seen Death Troopers, Inferno Troopers, AT-AT pilots, or I'm sorry, AT-AT pilots. Don't want to be getting any comments. You got AT-AT pilots, Snow Troopers. I really dug the Snow Trooper. So, yeah. But I think I might grab a few more down the line just for fun. But, like I said, leave me a like down below if you actually like this video. And go ahead and subscribe if you are new here. If you want to go become a patroneer, go check out the Patreon right here and be like John, Andy, Steve, and Colby. And, of course, check out the SHOKY merch down below in the description if you want to get yourself a cool SHOKY Reviews t-shirt and or other things. So I'll catch you guys on the next review, and remember, as always, may the Force be with you.